Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Brand. I'm your host, Stuart, and just for everyone out there, also, happy Valentine's Day. Today, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered was released on all platforms. Now, I am a big physical copy fan. I like having the physical media when it comes to gaming, and that's just how I grew up. I still got my NES, my GameCube, don't have my 64, wasn't fortunate enough to have an SNES, but I was fortunate to have a neighbor who had a PlayStation and another one that had an Xbox, and you know, I got to play almost all the consoles when I was growing up, and I do remember playing Tomb Raider a lot over at my friend's house, and I didn't beat it, didn't I just enjoyed playing the games. They're fun games, they're fun action games, and I was like, great. I was really excited for this. And I was hoping that when this came about that there would be a physical copy I could purchase. Uh, Aspyr Studios has not announced that they are going to release a physical copy yet of this game. I'm a little saddened by it. Um, the last couple of games, they haven't released a physical copy at all. So we may not get one. I've already went ahead and kicked off the download for it on my Switch, and I can't wait to play it. I'm really excited about it. Like, it's gonna be fun. Because you can switch between the original and the remastered edition. So the graphics can be like the original PS1 graphics, or you can do the new remastered graphics as you play, and you can switch back and forth. From my understanding, uh, during gameplay. So if you want to see a particular scene in the original and then restart it and go back and see remastered, you can do that. That's gonna be pretty cool. And I'm kind of like, okay. And some of you may be like, well, I want to get back to the physical media thing, and this may be something that seems to happen with me a lot. And I've done a different strategy on Switch games. I buy lots of small micro SD cards. Now, when I bought my Switch for my kids, I knew I was going to play a little bit, and then, man, just got back into gaming altogether. I hadn't touched gaming since for about 2 decades, and then I got right back into it with the Switch. And I kept buying the big, large micro SD cards, and files kept getting corrupted on these larger cards. Don't know why. All the time. And my son would come to me, Dad, it's not working. All right, we'll wipe it. We'll wipe the card. We'll re-download, start re-downloading the games and stuff like that. And that became a hassle. So what I did is I found some cases that had you could hold the cartridge and a micro SD card behind it. I started buying the small the 32 gig, 16 gig cards, real cheap, and I have yet to have a single problem with any of them. But on the cards that I keep all the digital downloads only on, consistently have issues. And so that's my big deal with I want a physical copy so I can download all the supplemental files and downloads to a micro SD card and the gameplay and the save points all to that micro SD card. So if it gets corrupted, I don't have to spend a lot of time re-downloading everything. And even with the Nintendo Pass and backups that I do have for me and both my kids' accounts, it doesn't. It's not a big deal, but it is time consuming, and especially if you have to do one or more game at a time, that puts the Switch out of commission for a while. So I want my physical copy, but since we may not get a physical copy of it, I went ahead and bought it digitally from Nintendo and started download. It's only about 6 gigs, which isn't going to take much storage on the internal storage of the Switch. But even remove the Switch now, I'm kind of excited for the two, just because the Switch now, I mean, you can't basically have more than one or two games loaded on the internal storage now after all the updates over the years. It's getting to that point where that internal storage just isn't enough anymore. So I'm hoping that this will be released physically, and if not, it is what it is. I've got several games that I've downloaded digitally. That's the only way they're offered. A lot of indie games are like that, but this was from Aspyr Studios is a big studio. They've done so many like Star Wars games and just Knights of the Republic, I believe they did, and several others. I mean, they're a big company, But I can see from their take that, yeah, if we can get away with just doing digitally, that cuts their costs down on delivering the product. No physical media and shipping and all that. When you just digitally ship, digitally download something, your profit margins increase. I get it. But there's a lot of us that still like that physical media. We want to have that cartridge. We want to have that disc in our hands when we play. We know it's a risk that may break. We'll buy another one. We will. 100% we will. And with a lot of stuff we're seeing during streaming, a lot of these mergers, and who knows what's going on, and the threat of who was it? I can't remember what studio. I don't know if it was Bethesda or somebody, but said we need gamers need to get used to the idea that they won't actually own any games. Yeah, we're not that way. Us old school guys, we want the physical media, and absolutely when it comes to games, and if we can't play our games because we don't have the physical copy anymore, or you decide to turn off that server and we can no longer play that game, we're not in for that. We don't like that. So I hope we do get a physical copy, and not just a digital version of Tomb Raider 3, 1 through 3 remastered, because these games were so much fun. I remember them growing up. I remember the graphics. I mean, it basically was just GoldenEye on steroids. It was. It was just awesome. I loved all the Tomb Raider games. It, they're just classic games that I'm looking forward to playing here in about 18 minutes. So I can't wait. I hope you all get a chance to play this. It's going to be awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have a capture card, so I can't really show my gameplay or anything on it right at this time. So, but get you a copy, especially all the old school gamers. You know you're going to love it. So until next time, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.